Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're just doing a Q&A real quick. I already did the Spanish version of this, but I never did an English version only because I just thought, you know what, I only got one of you guys to ask a question, honestly. One person asked the same exact question as somebody did in Spanish, and I just got a lot more Spanish people asking me questions. That's why I ended up just doing just Spanish version. But in the end, one of you guys asked for me to just use the same questions from the Spanish and then, translate it to English. And that's fine with me. I really don't care about doing that. Hopefully, in the future, if you guys ever want another Q&A, you guys will just don't be embarrassed to ask me questions, okay? I'm really an open book. I have no embarrassment whatsoever. I have no ashamed of my past, things that have happened to me. I don't really hold grudges towards the people that have done me wrong or anything like that. It's just not who I am. I just take whatever happened to me and I say, you know what? Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? It changes me. It molds me into the person that I need to be for any type of stuff that could come my way, right? So my first question was, how did you come up with your outro phrase and what does it mean? When you say outro phrase to me, I'm assuming that you mean stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Because every single YouTuber will ask you, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell, right? So when I was asked that, one of my Spanish subscribers asked me that, what does it mean? To me, stay warm is when you think about how, how people say, oh, you're in love, that warm, fuzzy feeling is the exact same thing. What in my case, it's me sending my love to you guys. So when I tell you guys to stay warm, I'm basically telling you to stay loved, to stay positive up here, mentally, physically, emotionally, feel loved, that is me sending my positive vibes to you guys right there. And, stay blessed. What does that mean? We already know what that means. Stay blessed, in all areas and aspects of your life. Stay magical. When I was small, I really had like a tough childhood. And what I would do to basically deal with that type of stuff was I would immerse myself in books. And, in books, everything's different. Back then, the books that I was reading, everything was happy. Everything was positive. So I sort of just threw myself and created this whole world in my mind where everything was perfect and nothing was crappy like it was in the outside. So that's what I mean by stay magical. Stay magical and still believe in positive, believe in that magic that still exists. Don't throw yourself into so much negativity. Don't let that negativity consume you or get you down or get you depressed. That's really what I mean. It's really my way of basically sending my love and my positivity to you guys, that you guys just be in this positive headspace, be loved, emotionally, physically, all that stuff. It's me sending my love to you guys. That's all it really is, okay? That's what it means. So my second question was, how old am I? I am currently 38 years old. I will be turning 39 in September. But technically, when people ask me how old I am, I already say I'm 39. There's just no reason to. I'm going to be 39 in 2 more months or something. So I just tell people I'm 39 when technically I'm still 38. I'm not the type of people to hold on to things like that. When people tell me, because I always tell my husband this, because my husband's like that person where he says, I'm turning 22. And I tell my husband, you're not 22, you old ass fart. You're freaking older than me. Stop doing that. What are you doing? I go, are you ashamed of how old you are? Because I'm not. I will straight up tell anybody, I'm 39. I have no shame of that. You know what? Because when it really comes down to it, I tell them, there's a little 10-year-old kid who's dying of leukemia who would kill to be in your spot, to have more life, to have more time on their hands. This time is borrowed. Don't be ashamed of that. We shouldn't be ashamed, It's like people don't look good. I know we realize a lot of us don't look forward to this, but I'm not ashamed of it. I have no negativity towards it. I'm not looking forward to, me looking at myself in the mirror at 90 years old if I make it. God willing, I make it that far. But I'm not hating it either, right? I'm not that type of person. My third question was, am I a mom? Which I found this question really funny. It made me laugh because I was like, how many videos do I have on my YouTube right now, you guys? And how many times have you guys heard me say I have 5 kids? I have 5 kids. Like, so yeah, I'm a mom. I have 5 kids. Just one. Don't put the other. I have 5 kids. So my first is a daughter. She's 16. She'll be 17 on Friday. And then I have a second daughter who is 13 right now. I have a third daughter who is 10 years old. So 16, 13, 10. And then I have one son. I have one son. Did you guys hear me? I have one son. Andres will be 6. He's 6 actually right now. So he's 6 years old. And then my last baby, that's the one you guys see in the background sometime, like a crazy lunatic jumping on the bed and stuff like that. Sometimes she has her pants on. Sometimes she doesn't have pants on. Miranda is 2 years old. She will be turning 3 in August. So next month, yeah, she'll be 3 years old already. Why did you start YouTube? That's my 4th question. You guys should know this answer. If you guys went to my first year of YouTube videos, if you guys are that OG, a part of my YouTube journey, you guys would know that when I first started my YouTube, it's because my daughter's quinceañera was coming up and I had no makeup. I had this little sad plastic thing of makeup, literally like little singles of Maybelline shadows and the SpongeBob, the sponge applicators, and just like little things like that. Random one mascara, which was probably like 6 months old, if I'm being honest with myself. Probably longer. But it was this little sad thing. Makeup wasn't something essential to me. It was always just like, it was a necessity. It was, what do you call it in English? I can't even think of the English word right now, but in Spanish we call it a lujo, which is basically not a necessity. It's just something extra that you reward yourself with, or you're able to afford it. So good for you, like a luxury. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a luxury, right? That's how I thought about it back then. And I still kind of think of the same way even now, especially now. Because it's not a necessity. It's not like food. I don't need it to breathe. It helps me. It's therapy right now. Like right now, even especially before COVID hit, it's become such a therapy, mental therapy for me, especially even my plants. You know, it's just therapy. That's what it really comes down to. Before, I only applied makeup maybe once, twice, 3 times a year. You know, special occasions, anniversaries, stuff like that. And I was really basic with my stuff. It's like one color, and I didn't do my eyebrows, lipstick, blush, and that was it. Like, I basically wore powder foundation and then concealer, and that was it. So my daughter quinceañera was coming up, and I just told my husband, like, I never ask you for anything, because he never bought me makeup. It was always me buying me makeup from Rite Aid, from Walgreens, from Walmart, whatever I could afford, you know. To me, I think he thought, oh, you don't really need that stuff. You know, you don't really wear it, so you don't really need it. And then I told him, I never ask you for anything, but I'm asking you for this, so please just buy me makeup. And he did. He took me to Ulta. It was so embarrassing because I had explained to the lady, like, I'm OG, I'm vintage, like, I'm so old, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you show me? She's like, yeah, don't be embarrassed. She took me in the back, you know. Do you need brushes? Like, well, I don't have no makeup brushes. Like, I still use sponge applicators. And she's like laughing at me. She's like, it's fine. Here's some 3 or 4 brushes. I think I bought like 3 or 4 palettes that day. And yeah, I think after I started, you know, getting comfortable with wearing makeup, I just got this idea where I told my husband, I think I want to do makeup videos. And my husband's like, I don't think he took me serious. He did not take me serious. To this day, I still tell him, you thought, you totally didn't believe I could do it. He's like, no. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I was like, he goes, I thought you were like BSing me. You were going to give up after saying maybe once or twice. And that first video, I must have posted that first video in like, I want to say June, something like that. June of 2019, I believe. That's when I started. And it was so embarrassing, sweating, anxiety. Like I was like super nervous. And I was like stuttering and messing up my words. And like, oh God, you guys, it was horrible. And I just remember telling myself, you know, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And in the beginning, I must have had 8 subscribers. I don't know. I think I just started because it became this huge mental escape for me. Something that was just mine. Something that was fun to do. And I still think that way. I don't want to be here to teach you guys how to do makeup. I want to be here to show you how fun makeup can be, you know? I hate that people find makeup so superficial and so judgmental. And I think in the beginning, I was never like that really. But I was sort of like, why do you take so long doing makeup? You know, because my friend used to tell me she did 2 hours doing her makeup. I'm like, girl, what, 2 hours for what? I don't see nothing. Because she was a neutral person. She's always been a neutral person. I was like, 2 hours, girl. All I see is brown eyeshadow and like nude lipstick. That was it. You know, I can understand if you say you took 2 hours and you look like Nikki Tutorials, then I would be like, that's worth it. But if you took 2 hours, I'm thinking she's not talking about just her makeup. She was talking about everything because she straightened her hair. So I'm pretty sure she's including the overall look. But I don't know. Now I see people judgment so much. Like, they're just like, all you do is waste your makeup on, waste your money on makeup. Like, why do you care, homie? It's not your money, though. I remember getting so much hate in the beginning. It was crazy. I got so much hate, especially from like family members who were basically making little snide comments. And I was like telling my husband, I don't even want to do it anymore. I don't want to do YouTube anymore. He's like, no, forget them. He goes, because it's not their money. He goes, it's my money. And I'm giving you the money to buy the makeup, to do these videos. He's like, so screw the rest of them. Who gives a rat's ass? He was like, he was more bothered than me, and I was just threatening to give up, and my husband's like, no, you're going to keep on going. You're going to keep on going. And then after I started getting comments from the Spanish videos too, especially people saying, oh, you speak Spanish funny, you don't speak it right, or you don't do your eyebrows right. And my husband's like, who cares about them? You don't know them. I was like, you're so mean. I don't want to do I don't want to do this no more. And then I did get some beautiful comments from you guys. I really appreciate your comments. Like, a lot of you guys just tell me all the time, don't let that kind of stuff bother you. You know, just keep on going. We really like seeing you guys, and all that stuff helps me. So I'm really thankful for you guys. How do you care for your hair? Do you use a straight iron or dye it? Do you use any type of treatment? This was one of the comments that made me laugh when I told my husband about it, because literally I wanted to show you guys that every day when I'm not doing YouTube, when I'm not doing like videos, I'm literally walking around the house like this, right? Every day, like, I just have my hair in a straight up bun like this all day. And then couple of seconds before I start the actual video to my YouTube, hola mis serenitas. Like, I don't do anything to it, you guys. There's no magic in this hair. It's just there. I don't straight iron it because it's already straight. That's my natural straight hair. My straight hair has always been just very dead to the side. If I want any type of volume, I have to basically curl it. There is nothing like this in this freaking ass hair. There's nothing special. Do I dye it? Now, if you have followed me from the beginning, you guys know that when I started my YouTube, I had purple hair. And I used to always bleach it and dye it purple. And then eventually I started dyeing it orange. So bleach and dyeing it orange. Then I turned it to blue. And then blue sort of morphed into this green shade that I was trying to get rid of the blue, but it turned it to green. And eventually I did go back to purple right before I got tired, and I completely dyed it black. That was about 8 months ago when I went completely black. And then this past month, so it's been a good month and a half, that I started noticing that half of my hair was that dyed out, you know, purple, that like sort of stripped the black out, and it just became this golden brown off bronzy type of tone. It just looked dead. It looked off, and I just decided to re-dye it black. That was about a month and a half ago. I have not done anything to it since, so whatever you guys see here, that's basically it. I do get gray hair, just so you, because I know somebody's going to ask me, well, you don't look like you have any gray hair. Yeah, I have gray hair. It's mostly right here, but my hair pretty much covers it, so it's like on the side. Everywhere else is pretty much clear. There's just no reason to go out and buy a, you know, black hair dye. I don't have enough gray hair to justify a bottle. So I'm literally just waiting for me to get more to have to like, okay, now I'm going to start dyeing it. And even then, I have these moments where I tell my husband, I don't think I'm going to dye it. I think when it really comes in, I'm just going to embrace it. And I want to be like Cruella de Vil, you know. I want to look like Storm from the X-Men. Like, I just want silver hair everywhere. My husband's like... Y'all, when I met my husband, he had gray hair to begin with. And then as the years passed, he has it hereditary, you know, like passed on from family. So he got premature gray hair way before. He was like 22 when I met him. He already had gray hair. And I was about 20, 21 around there. My mom didn't start getting gray hair till like around close to 40. So we don't really get gray hair right away in our family. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever, but it's not like a big deal because as soon as we get gray hair in our family, everybody just starts dyeing their hair black. Nobody is, you know, nobody looks at that type of stuff. I think wrinkles would be more of a huge thing in our family, not so much, you know, hair. Hair, you can dye it, you can manipulate it, change it around, put a wig on, you know. It's not the same thing. So yeah, and I don't do any treatments. It is what it is. This is it, you guys. This is me. Pretty much like I said, if it's not in a bun, it's down. I only wear it down for the videos and to go to sleep. Every time that you don't see me on camera, it's pretty much up in a bun or pulled back into a ponytail because ain't nobody got time for that stuff, okay? How do you care for your skin, as in skincare? This is another one that was embarrassing to kind of like answer because I told my husband, I am so bad with skincare, like so bad. Don't ask me for no, like anything about skincare, whether you want me to recommend a product or anything, because like I'm so bad at that. Literally every day before I go to sleep, you know, when I'm not taking my makeup off, for example, I'm going to use makeup wipes, I'm going to use my Neutrogena cream cleanser, and then I'm going to use my Good Molecules facial cleansing bar. And then sometimes I'll use a third cleanser, just depending on how dirty I think my skin feels or whatever the heck. But for the most part, I don't use wrinkles creams. Sometimes if I remember, I'll use my firming cream that I have from the First Aid Beauty that I got in my trend mood. But like, I'm so bad at it, you guys. If I remember, a serum too. I have a bunch of like hyaluronic acid serums. Some of them have like, I don't know, some of them have some like sea minerals or algae stuff, whatever the heck it has. I forget to put them on. So I'm going to say out of 9 times or 10 times, it's probably like once or twice. Yes, I know it's bad. I don't need your opinion, okay? I'm going to be that awful wrinkled hag by the time I get to like 85. I'm just gonna be this wrinkled, crunched up mess, and it's gonna be my fault. I know that, okay? I don't need to hear it from nobody else. It's gonna be a mess. Okay, so another question was, how is it that you speak both languages? Where or how did you learn? So for my first language was Spanish. My mom and dad only spoke Spanish to me. When I went to school, it was funny because I'm like in, I think it was preschool, no, it was kindergarten. So I'm in kindergarten and everybody's speaking English and I'm just like, ¿qué dicen? Like, what are they saying, right? I didn't understand anything. They pulled me out and they put me in a separate classroom. I don't know if it was like twice or 3 times a week for how many, I don't even know. I couldn't remember. But I do remember that it was me, a bunch of other Hispanic kids. We had made like a couple of Asians in there, and then like, you know, some Middle Eastern Indian. I don't even remember. I remember that, and I remember them putting this huge chalkboard in front of us and all these letters, like the alphabet, and they were so like, this is the letter A, and it sounds like like we had to start from zero, all of us, and I remember just being so backtracked of learning just because I was learning English at the same time, and I lost so much of my Spanish because you have to practice it. A lot of my brothers have a really bad accent when it comes to speaking Spanish because they never practice it, and I think a lot of us for the longest time we became resentful towards our parents because we were like, we don't want to speak Spanish anymore because it was so hard just catching up to everybody else, and on top of that, it's people made fun of you, you know. It didn't until I got to like 13 that I realized that it was important. It was important just as much as English was. It's just part of our culture and everything. And I taught myself how to read and write it. as well as I started practicing speaking it more. I'm not perfect by any means. There's some words that I mispronounce all the time. I have a very ghetto way of talking Spanish. So if you're trying to learn how to speak it properly, don't do it with me, okay? Because I'm like super ghetto. I'm like Shaniqua as a Hispanic, okay? Like, there is no proper Spanish here, you know? In Spanish, in school, they teach you how to say, me voy a duchar, right? I'm going to go take a shower, what the heck? And in ghetto Spanish, like the one we grew up, you know, living, it's basically me voy a bañar, like... There's two ways to say it. There's a proper way and there's a ghetto way. I'm mostly ghetto, and then I have a lot of mixture between my friends and habits that they say and stuff that I pick up from my husband who's Salvadorian. It's like, it's a hot mess over here, okay? I try to do the best I can. I tell my Spanish-speaking subscribers, like, look, this is the best I can do. Because I do get some negative comments in there about how, oh, you're just butchering the Spanish language. And I actually had 2 of my subscribers come back and tell that person, like, she speaks 2 languages. Give her some slack. Like, at least she tries. Whereas you only speak 1 language. And of course, you would judge someone else who speaks 2. And you only speak 1. I started cracking up at that. I was like, yeah, go, get her. So, yeah, you guys, I learned it in school. That's how I know. Another question was, would you like to live in another country? And I honestly, no. I wouldn't want to live in another country. I would want to visit a lot of countries, let me tell you. As a child, I was like, I want to travel one day. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to France. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to England. Like, oh, God. There's so many places I would want to visit. Hawaii, just like any... Philippines, my friend who's Filipino, she was like, Sarah, we're going to go to the Philippines one day. We're going to be like, but the other guy scared me. There was this guy who worked with this man. He was like, no, if you wear any jewelry, they'll chop your ring finger off. I was like, what? She's like, no, Sarah, we're not going to travel like that. Like, we'll get a private car or where the heck. I go, girl, I'm not getting my ring finger chopped off. They can have the ring. Don't just give me my finger. I said, nothing material is worth my finger like that. You can have the ring. She's like, no, don't worry, but it's not going to be like that. Girl, don't be taking me nowhere. They're going to butcher me and chop me up. Hell no. Like, and then just, I don't know. I want to visit Spain. I want to visit Brazil. And oh my God, like there's so many freaking places I want to visit. Hopefully one day, you guys, I hope I'm able to travel and see places, but as far as living somewhere else, I've never wanted it. I've always been, this is my life. This is here. I live here in Sacramento. I live with my husband and my kids, and this is good enough for me. I love California, you guys. As many people who complain about California, I love the hell out of California. There's just nowhere I would ever want to be apart from here, you know? Like I said, travel, yes, but live somewhere else? No, I've never seen that in my life. Besides makeups, are there any other things or hobbies that you enjoy? Cooking, writing, painting, planning. Okay, so, yeah. Before I got into makeup, obviously, I would do a lot of painting. I taught myself self-taught painting with acrylics. So I started painting. This was about like freaking 15 years ago or something like that. It's been a long time. I paint on canvas. I paint wooden letters on wooden canvas. Like pretty much anything I would paint on it. And I'm not a professional, obviously, but I love the heck out of painting. I especially love to paint mermaids. I love to paint peacocks, like flowers and just different stuff like that. I love to paint. I remember at one point I was drawing, I drew the Powerpuff Girls for my niece, and she hung it up on her wall, I believe. So I've always loved drawing and painting, both like doodling, you know, in general. I've always loved that type of stuff. Writing. I write, just so you guys know. I've always posted my poems on my Facebook page, but I haven't done that in so freaking long. I just stopped doing it. So I would write poems, and then when I was pregnant with my third daughter, so that was back in like 2009. I got the idea to write a book, and I started like writing the book. The book was going to be 14 chapters, and of which only 7 chapters have been written, because I had the chapters like laying around somewhere, and then one day I started writing it all down in my Microsoft Word. I started writing it all down, and I got stuck at a part where it was like this part of the story where I actually record my voice, and I record what I want to write. So when I sit down at the computer, I actually listen to myself, and I start writing as far as like the ideas that just pop in my head. So it's basically about a girl who lives in an alternate universe, and everybody there has magical powers. Some of them have natural powers where they're just naturally gifted and they can just control water or make the earth move, or they can shapeshift or whatever. And then there's people who need something like a necklace, a ring, to be able to, like a conduit, to use that power within them. Usually the people who are using rings and stuff, those are the bad people, the evil people, and the ones who don't are the natural, like basically good people, the good people. And she's basically like from a prophecy that she's gonna grow up, be born to defeat the evil queen. And the evil queen basically, she finds out about the prophecy and she tries to kill her off before she's even born. She finds out when she's gonna be born. She knows she's gonna be born on the same day as the king's son and heir. So she sends out her henchmen to kill her. But somehow she doesn't kill her. She survives. She survives long enough to make it to like around 12 years old. That's when the second part of my story starts. And she finds out she's still alive. She sends to kill her off again, but her dad manages to open a portal because that's his power. He can open a portal from their realm to the human realm. She falls into the human realm, and so the father and the brother manage to get away too, but just before she falls into the portal, she sees that her mom gets stabbed, and she basically goes into the other realm by herself. She falls by herself, somehow gets separated from her dad and her brother, and she's by herself in the human realm. It's like a long story, you guys. Like what is destined to happen, and it's like another story of other people apart from it. The king's son of heir, of course, the prince is involved, and then there's trolls and giants and fairies, owls and stuff like that. Like there's brujas, which are like gifted witches who have natural powers, and then I have a whole brotherhood of men who basically have same type of power, stuff like that. And I tried to include as much ethnicities as I could, because I'm so tired of these movies where you're like literally you have all these people and it's just like it's only one race or something like that. And I was like, why? I'm pretty sure the writer didn't write this. Like, they made different heights, and for some reason, all these people are like 5'9", 6'2". Alice from Twilight was 4'11", like the same height as me. She was short as hell. Why did they make her? She's like 5'7", 8 at least in the movie. Like, I don't even know what to tell you. And then cooking. I love cooking. I love baking. I do a lot of it. I cook almost every day. Yesterday I made meatloaf, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, gravy, and cornbread. I love the hell out of cooking. It's just, I get to that point, if someone makes me feel like I'm forced to do it, like you're the woman, you're supposed to cook, then I tell my husband, you're starving. Because don't make me feel like that. You make me feel like it's my obligation, you're going to starve. Don't make me feel like that. I enjoy cooking. You got a woman that enjoys cooking, then just enjoy it. Don't make her feel that she's obligated to, because the second you make me feel obligated to, boy, your ass is grand. Stop me doing that. And baking, I love the heck out of baking. I love making. I like to make from scratch cakes, so I know how to make from scratch chocolate cake, strawberry cake, pumpkin spice cake, apple cinnamon cake, carrot cake. I know there's a lot of them. You guys have like recipes for all of them, but they're so freaking good. And I love making homemade chocolate chip cookies. Oh God, I do that a lot. Flan. I don't know. I make a whole bunch of stuff, you guys. It's too many to name off. Seafood boils, like one of my favorite things. Surf and turf too, what I make. So I love cooking. I love baking, writing, painting, planting. I love plants. Before COVID hit, I had about 6 plants. Now I'm like up to, I don't want to say, I think I have like close to 30. I don't know. It's like a shitload. And my husband's like, why are you, he goes, pretty soon the whole table where we sit and eat is going to be full of plants. Then where are we going to eat? I said, you eat on the floor. I don't know what you're telling me. But the rest, Starfire and the rest of my buddies right here are going to stay. I just have him on the edge and not all the way, but he's making a big deal out of nothing. I have a literal big thing against the wall where I bought from Walmart, and you could put planters on there. So like they're all right there. They're right here. They're about like on the corner edge of that table, and he's just complaining just to complain. Okay, they ain't disturbing nobody. I just look at it and I was like, don't listen to him. And then reading would be another one. I love to read. I have an app on my phone that allows me to borrow books from the library. And I'm always like constantly listening to audiobooks when I'm cooking or cleaning. And when I have time, if it's like a regular book, like an ebook, I will lay on my bed and I will go through an entire 2 books in one day. I've been known to do it. Just like reading back and forth. And my husband's like, he's talking to me and I'm like, he's like, why are you ignoring me? I was like, I am reading. Can you go over there? He goes, why are you? I said, no, you have a woman that doesn't even bother you, doesn't nag at you, doesn't even want to fight with you. I go to my corner and I read. Do I bother you when you're watching soccer? No, I don't. Can I read right now? And he's like, God, you're so mean. I was like, don't bother me. I'm busy. This is my mental escape. I'm trying to do something for myself. Can you? If you're fed and you're not sleepy, don't bother me. Like, come on. But that's pretty much it, you guys, for the questions. Hopefully one of those were the questions you were wondering. And if not, like I said, you guys, don't be shy over here. I'm pretty much an open book. I'm willing to answer a lot of different types of questions. I don't have anything to hide, really. So I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.